about it. Ohio's governor is a firm no on the two big statewide issues that will be on the November 7th ballot.
Abortion and recreational pot. He reiterated his stance on those two consequential issues in Columbus today. He did an interview one-on-one with WLWT News 5's John London.
Ohio's governor on gut feeling about the big issues.
No, I think these are going to go right down to the wire. I think there's some confusion about both of them, and I think that these will both be close.
Issue 1 is a statewide abortion vote with national implications. Approval would place reproductive rights into the Ohio Constitution.
And it would take another constitutional amendment to change something. So the legislature, will not be able to fine-tune it at all. And again, that's one of the things that I think is important for people to understand.
Issue 2 would make recreational marijuana legal in Ohio, just like medical marijuana. Supporters believe it would be an economic plus and a logical cultural shift. Mark DeWine down as be careful what you wish for.
For example, it favors certain people and says certain people who already have a license to sell medical marijuana, it favors them over anybody else. So.
Now, the latest polling shows strong support for both issues 1 and 2. Surprisingly, even among Republicans and evangelicals. The governor's seen the numbers, and here's his take on it.
Well, as the old saying is, the only poll that really counts is the one on election day. Those are not numbers that we're looking at. I don't think it should be a surprise to anybody.
DeWine says yes on 1 got a jump on the TV ads and seems to be in the lead, which could be reflected in the signs we saw today in the yards of the Bexley neighborhood where the governor's residence is. But he's told Catholic bishops and others there's a strategy to defeat issue 1, and he believes it's gaining momentum 2 weeks before votes are counted. Speaking of count, since you don't have to be a member of Congress to be Speaker of the House, DeWine got a hearty laugh about whether he'd turn the state over to his lieutenant governor if he got the call.
Well, first of all, John Huston would do a great job as governor, but I don't think I'm getting a call from anyone to go be Speaker of the House, and I love the job I have now, which is being governor of Ohio.
In Columbus, John London, WLWT News 5.